emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics. Hey folks, welcome to the Final Order Report, your last chance to lock in those upcoming small press comics before these print runs are set. I'm Dan Merritt, Chief Purchasing Officer here at Green Brain Comics, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on what's hitting our shelves starting on Wednesday, November 19th, and what you'll want to pre-order by Monday at noon. That's this Monday, October 27th. The Final Order Report and Green Brain Comics are proudly powered by Comichub. Check out Comichub online at comichub.com or grab the mobile app for Android and iPhone. Create an account or log into your existing account to order or pay securely online and make sure you never miss an issue. Today I'll be using Comichub to spotlight items from this week's Last Call for Confirmed Orders Carousel. You'll see once you sign in behind the orange banner, that's everything that we have in store for you right now, waiting for you to pay for and pick up, or we can ship them out. Behind the green banner is everything that we'll be talking about today. Let's look at that. On this menu, you can see we got a general search where you could look at everything in the current catalogs that are loaded into Comichub. Below that, you can look at preview pages for upcoming books. And then we have search arriving soon. That's everything that's on our upcoming invoices for this Wednesday, October 29th. And below that is the menu for search orders due Sunday. That's the last call menu. That's what we will be using. Below that is we've got search events, and we've got a couple of new ones. We've got one for manga and one for collected editions. But we're going to be focusing today on single issues. Let's get right into that. Once you click through there, you'll see that this menu scrolls top to bottom, and we also have filters on the top for alphanumerics, publisher, category, and others. Lots of opportunities for you to get right to what you're looking for. And what we're looking for right now is small press comics. And the first thing that we'll be looking at today is Terry Moore's Trigger Warning. This is a new one-shot from Abstract Comics and Terry Moore, of course. Trigger Warning is a new Strangers in Paradise story written and drawn by Terry Moore. This one-shot comic book features SIP, stars Comichub and Francine as you've never seen them. In the Old West, can Civil War veteran Comichub finally find love in a small western town? She can if Francine lives there, but first our weary soldier will have to battle quick-tempered outlaws and the quickest gun in the county. This one shot is 32 pages at a price of $5.99. It's going to be on street date for December 3rd. And you can order yours today. Let me fix that date. Next thing we'll be looking at is from Ahoy Comics. We got a new issue of Toxic Avenger Comics number 5 from writer Matt Bors and artists Grim Wilkins and Fred Harper, who turned in this A cover. Then we've got a new one-shot from Archie Comics starring Josie. This annual spectacular one-shot features an A cover by Dan Parent and one from Dan DiCarlo. Halloween may be over, but it's monsters versus pussycats in this spectacular issue, now packed with over 30 pages of content, including a brand new story. The Southside Serpents are once again looking to toughen up their image as they're trying to last overnight in a haunted section of the woods where witches have been rumored to once exist. But when the Pussycats arrive on the scene, more than their musical pasts are called into question. From legacy creators Dan Parent and Bob Smith, with a cover by Dan Parent on A and a B cover by Dan DiCarlo. Beautiful retro art there, available on November 19th. It's the Josie Annual Spectacular one-shot. Over at Ignition Press, we get a new issue of Murder Podcast, number 3, from Jeremy Hawn and artist Mike Tesserand. Got a Jeremy Hawn cover on A. From Mad Cave Studios, we get a new issue of Flash Gordon. This is number 13 from Jeremy Adams and Eder Messias on interiors, Will Conrad cover. Also from Mad Cave, we got Gotcha Man 14, Sam Humphries, Chris Batista, Inaki Miranda cover. That's a November 19th ship date. It Killed Everyone But Me, number 3. This has been selling kind of modest numbers, so if you want to make sure you get one, please do special order by this Monday. It'll be available on November 19th from Ryan Parrott and Letizia Catanici on interiors and a Joshua Hickson cover on the A. A third issue for Racer X with a Dan LaFuente cover, Mark Russell writing with Nuno Platti doing interiors. And the new Breakout miniseries continues with a second issue, Temporal, from Stephanie Williams, Isaiah Fulmore on interiors, and Torrin Clark cover. We've been getting better graphics lately. Can't zoom in on this one yet. But we can check out Terror Bites number 2 from Mark London and Emmanuel Ercolani. And a first issue for Ferocious. A tavern boy's sheltered life is overturned by the arrival of a towering draconic woman. A wayward soldier from a distant war who single-handedly lays waste to his entire village. He swears an oath of righteous vengeance, but in order to fulfill it, he'll have to seek training from the warrior woman herself. Ferocious is epic fantasy on an intimate scale, a revenge thriller like no other one that stirs the heart as it goes for the jugular. From writer Luke Piotrowski and artist Emmanuel Ercolani, with a cover by Andy Clark on A and a B cover from interior artist Emmanuel Ercolani. Artillery number 2 from Jimmy Robinson, scheduled for December 17th. And Do Not Disturb, a new series from Sumerian Comics by Jared Hunter Rowe, David R. Flores, and Lorenzo Scarmelli, with art by David R. Flores, and also an A cover. Do Not Disturb is a mysterious thriller with a great supernatural twist, set within an infamous hotel called the Argyle. The story follows private investigator Randall Halsey, who has been hired to find a missing young woman, only to realize she and him have been murdered. Not letting death stand in the way of solving the mystery, Randall has to maneuver through both the human and supernatural worlds that lay within the walls of the Argyle, traveling through time itself to set things right. With an A cover from interior artist David R. Flores, who also does a B cover with Michael Nelson. Do Not Disturb will be available on December 24th. Drumsticks of Doom #1, this giant-sized first issue. Drumsticks of Doom. When Black Sabbath became the world's most famous band, the universe was changed, musically and otherwise. Lost arts like alchemy were made common. Schools taught about transfiguration and alternate science. Demons were summoned and some stuck around. From writer John Westhoff and artist Dan Doherty, with an A cover by Maria Wolf, who always turns in very cool, dramatic-looking covers. This is Drumsticks of Doom from Sumerian Comics, available on December 3rd. This is the first of 4 issues. And from Antarctic Press, we get a new miniseries, Teether, Parental Guidance, from David Hutchinson. Both writing, doing the interiors, and this cover. This is a 4-issue miniseries. Available on November 26th. Over at Oni Press, we got a new issue of EC Catacomb of Torment. This is #5, featuring short stories from writers Evan Dorkin, Christopher Cantwell, and Paul Tobin, with art by Lucas Kettner, PJ Holden, and Dan McDade. We get an A cover by Naomi Frank. Also from Oni, we get Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa, #3 of 4, with a Juan Gideon cover and interiors. And the 3-issue miniseries comes out with its penultimate issue. This is Yuletide #2 from writer George Northey and artist Rachel Arano, with this cover by Ito. That'll do it for the very small press. Now let's bump up to the next level of small press with next issue of Boom Studios' major hit by Jeff Lemire. It's Minor Arcana #12. Jeff Lemire, interiors, and a cover. At Dark Horse, we get a second issue of Captain Henry in the Graveyard of Time. #1 was just my pick of the week this last week. This is written by Mike Mignola, with interior art by Bruce Zick, and this B cover by Troy Nixie. I love that Troy Nixie. Good times in the world of Hellboy. Available on December 10th. Then we get the next new issue of Nocturnals, The Sinister Path #3 from Dan Brereton, writer, artist, and cover artist. Available on November 19th. Also on November 19th is Powers 25 #3 from Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Avon Oeming. We get the second issue of a series that's about to debut this coming Wednesday, called Synthetics Volume 1. #2 ships on December 10th. From writer J. Michael Straczynski and artist Tony Parker. Also from the world of Hellboy is Miss Truesdale and the Rise of Man. This first issue is written by Mike Mignola, with art, interior, and cover by Jesse Lonergan. The gladiator Anamyasa wanders the forest to learn about her lives, past, present, and future, but she isn't a hero to all, as one darker entity will hunt her until she can be stopped, and the fate of man stopped with her. Hellboy creator Mike Mignola and artist Jesse Lonergan continue their acclaimed Miss Truesdale saga in this new 4-issue miniseries, which also has a B cover by Jesse Lonergan. That's always swell. This is the artist of Man's Best, one of the funnest sci-fi books from this last year. Over at Dynamite Entertainment, we get a second issue for this major crossover between Harley Quinn and Elvira. Written by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. I'm showing off the C cover by Joseph Michael Linsner. Herculoids number 10, Tom Snagowski, Craig Russo, Bjorn Barron's cover. Silverhawks 10, Jay Lee cover. And the 5th issue for Space Ghost by David Pepose, Jonathan Lau. This is the cover B Jay Lee variant. And we also get a second issue for Terminator Metal. This just started up this last week from Declan Shelby, Rory McConville, and interior artist Yoan Marone with a B cover by Bob Layton. Available on November 19th is Vampirella number 6 with this Megan Hetrick cover on C. And debuting on November 19th from writer-artist Edwin Gallman, The Once and Future Kings. Get ready to return to the sweeping plains of Africa for a brand new series of adventures starring Mufasa and Simba, written and illustrated by acclaimed talent Edwin Gallman and set in the golden time before the rise of Scar. The Lion King follows the ruler of the Pride Lands and his young heir as they navigate the complex network of relationships that make up their kingdom, and learn firsthand how to defend it against the forces that threaten it both from the outside and from within, featuring epically appropriate covers by Edwin Gallman, Megan Hetrick, Jacob Edgar, a Julia Lamerno variant, and available on November 19th from Dynamite Entertainment, it's Lion King number 1. Over at IDW, we get some new printings for Event Horizon Dark Descent, available on December 10th. This is the 3rd printing of number 1 and the 2nd printing of number 2. These are both covers by Christian Ward, who is also the writer of this series. Available on December 10th. Star Trek Lower Decks number 14, Tim Sheridan, Vernon Smith cover. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, The Seeds of Salvation number 4. This series is written by Robbie Thompson with interiors by Serge Acuna and cover by Travis Mercer. Next new issue of Street Sharks number 3, Ariel Medell doing interior art, Stephanie Williams writing with a cover by Santos. And the 2nd issue of Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Stick around for the 2nd issue of the new story from the hit TV series Tales of the Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is written by Mikey Levitt with art by Louis Joyce. And Valiant Beyond continues with Bloodshot number 3, the epic conclusion to their first story arc, Bleeding Suns. Written by Maura Mantella and featuring art by Fernando Hines Furukawa, and this cover by Andrea Briccardo. And that does it for all the comics on Last Call from the Small Press. You've got until Monday at noon October 27th to lock in your pre-orders for these and many, many more. Make sure to send and confirm these items in your Comichub cart before the deadline. Before I let you go, let me tell you about a couple of events this weekend. We are excited to be tabling in the Senate Theater this Saturday, tomorrow evening, for the annual Halloween fundraiser and costume party featuring a projection of Suspiria, the classic 70s horror flick from Dario Argento. The evening starts out early at 6 p.m. and features a DJ set, a live organ set, a costume contest, other vendors, and the amazing movie Suspiria featuring the music of Goblin. I hope that you can make it out there. Come and say hi. Oh, and make sure to wear a costume. It'll be fun. Saturday, October 25th, 6 p.m. at the Senate Theater. And don't forget, on sale this Wednesday, October 29th, is a whole big giant list of comics. You can find out more at greenbraincomics.com for the full list. And you can join us on Tuesday night for BRAINSCAN, our weekly live stream preview of New Comic Book Day from the floor of Green Brain Comics, hosted by Katie Merritt, singing and dancing. Well, at least dancing. And I'll be on camera with some facts, true or not. I hope you can join us for BRAINSCAN this Tuesday at 6:30. And I'd like to thank you for tuning into the Final Order Report. Stay up to date on all of our happenings. We're Green Brain Comics on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky. All the links you need for our shopping cart, website, and Comichub are right below in the description. We've been spreading the love of comics and graphic novels from the heart of East Downtown Dearborn since 1985. Feed your brain at Green Brain Comics. Thanks for watching, folks. Emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics.